A dedicated service to the policy and social science in Pakistan. He's another man of institutions who has contributed in many different ways. He has been chairman of Port Qasim, chairman of Balochistan Development Authority, Karachi Development Authority. He was the director general of that. And he was also the federal secretary for Prime Minister of Pakistan as well. So he brings enormous experience in this space. So we are glad to have Mubila Shah here with us. He's also graduate of McGill University, Canada. So Canada is his second home. And also he did his master's in investment management. He's expert on this investment management part of the development from Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT. Sai, welcome. Thank you for being here. All right, with that, I think I'm done talking, so now rest of the talking we'll hear from our panelists here. So I'll invite Makbul Halibodos to come and take the stage and tell us what Sana is doing about it.
Thank you, Azul. First of all, as Suhail said, I'm not an expert on environment, I'm not an expert in climate, I'm not an expert in ecology, so don't expect any knowledge from me. I'm not going to speak from my brain, I'm going to try to speak from my heart today. That's all I can do as an illiterate person who has very little knowledge about climate and about any of this, what's going on around the globe. But I हमेशा माण्हुनि खे चवंदो आहियां जॾहिं आउं पाण ज़ाती तौर ते परेशान हूंदो आहियां मूंखे ॻाल्हि सम्झ में न ईंदी आहे आउं सम्झंदो आहियां त दुनिया में मुंहिंजो को रस्तो कोन्हे त मूं वटि हिकिड़ो ई रस्तो हूंदो आहे हिकिड़ो ई रहबर हूंदो आहे उहा आहे शाहलती सो आउं शाहलती में हिकिड़े ॿिनि सिटुनि तां शुरू कंदुसि शाह साईं 200-400 साल पहिरीं जॾहिं चयो त आई इमेजिन कयो सोड़ीअ मां चए थो त कंधीअ झलियो कां आशिक उभो आहूं करे तो कीअं ॿोड़ी सुहिणी ॿेली मुंहिंजी बाह दरिया तो ते तव्हां ॾींदुसि ॾींहुं क़यामत सो हाणे आउं इनखे थोरो बदिलाईंदुसि आउं चवां अॼु जेके शाह साईं हुजे शाह साईं लिखिया त कंधीअ चलियो कां आशिक उभो आहूं करे तो कीअं ॿोड़ी सिंधड़ी ॿेली मुंहिंजी बाह दरिया तो ते तव्हां ॾींदुसि ॾींहुं क़यामत जे ऐं शाह साईं जो ॿियो शाह साईं चए थो त ॾींहुं क़यामत जे सो जॾहिं आउं शाह साईं जी लाइन पढ़ंदो आहियां त मूंखे हिकिड़ो त ज़हन में ख़ाको इहो ईंदो आहे त दरियाए सिंध जो जेको फ्लो आहे इट हैज़ नेवर बीन कॉन्स्टेंट इहे सभु दरियाए सिंध जे फ्लो में जेके एब्स ऐं फ्लोस ईंदा आहिनि दैट इज़ वॉट ब्रिंग्स द वेरी रिच सॉइल to Sindh. That is what keeps our lands fertile. That is why the Indus Valley has always been a breadbasket for majority of the old world. Like if you take the Americas and the Australias, the New Worlds out, Indus Valley was always a breadbasket. That is the reason we had invaders invading Indus Valley from the Aryans to the Mughals, because they came here because we were the breadbasket. Ada Hassan वेठो आहे त Hassan सां बड़ी थोड़ी घणी असां रिसर्च कई ऐं जेतिरो मूं चवंदो वञा त Hassan खां मूं सिखियो आहे सिंध जे बारे में असांजे मूं कंहिंखां कोन सिखियो आहे सो उन खां पोइ साईं कैसर बंगाली साहब आहे साईं मुबिला शाह साहब आहे असांजी नंढड़ी अदी ज़ोया I first time I met Adi Zoya was when I was in Calgary in 2022 and she gave a presentation and I will tell you, I can promise you, when she gives her presentation, that is going to be the most scientific paper that you'll ever see. So, and Nasi Brovetia, इन brilliant mind जे साम्हूं आउं तमामु पंहिंजे पाण खे हिकिड़ो मामूली इंसान सम्झां थो कुझु ॻाल्हाए कोन थो सघां इहो ई चई सघंदुसि त हिकिड़ी त ॻाल्हि इहा आहे त जेको एनवायरनमेंट हिकिड़ो असां हिकिड़ी इन एरिया में था रहूं जिते असांजो एनवायरनमेंट हमें कॾहिं कॉन्स्टेंट कोन रहियो आहे ऐं असांजो एनवायरमेंट कांस्टेंट रहण ई न घुरिजे। जेकॾहिं दरिया सिंध जो फ्लो, ये एब्स एंड फ्लोज ख़त्म थिया त असांजो कच्छ जो इलाइक़ो ख़त्म थी वेंदो। असां उहो ख़त्म करे छॾियो आहे। अॻे कच्छ जे इलाइक़े में ॿेला हूंदा हुआ, ऐं जो कच्छ जो इलाइक़ो हूंदो उन में पाणी घटि थींदो, उहो असांजो जेको एक्वाफोर, जेको सब सरफेस पाणी आहे, उनखे रिफ्रेश कंदो। इन करे सिंध जो पाणी खूहनि में हमेशह मिठो रहियो आहे। त हीउ जेको इकोलॉजिकल डिज़ास्टर जेको थिए पियो, इहो सिर्फ़ु मींहं जो त अलॻि ॻाल्हि आहे, पर असांजूं ज़मीनूं बि ख़तमु थियनि, असांजो सब सरफेस पाणी बि आलूदा थिए, असांजूं फ्रेश वाटर लेक्स बि डिस्ट्रॉय थियनि। ऐं असांजो मुंहिंजो ॻोठु आहे टंडोल आहे। टंडोल यार जेको चवनि था शायदि सिंध जो ज़रखेज़ जो तमामु ज़रखेज़ इलाइक़ा हुते आहे। ऐं गुज़िरियल बरसाति खां पोइ वियुसि, असांजूं सभु ॿनियूं ॿुॾियूं पियूं। जेको असांजो कॉटन जो क्रॉप सॼो ख़तमु थी चुको, शुगर केन जो ऑलमोस्ट 50% क्रॉप थी चुको, उहो असां वापसि गुज़रियो त जामशोर ते दरिया ते रुगो वारी पियो डाले। Can anyone tell me, is there a worse human-made disaster anywhere on the planet? केर पुछण वारो कोन्हे। दुनिया, America, I want you to Google right now. In America, in the last 10 or 15 years, they have destroyed more than 3,000 dams. Because the environmentalists of the world know that dams are bad. They are bad for the rivers, they are bad for the marine life, they are bad for the ecology, and we keep. So the idea is that there are so many things which are beyond our control. Maybe the global warming is beyond our control. But there are so many things locally that are within our control that we can do about something. Now, what can we do? The question is, what can we do as a limited organization? I keep going back to, I said this the other day and I'll repeat it again. As a community organization, there are only 3 things you can do. First, you come together. That is your strength. जे असांजा 500, 1000, 2000 मेंबर आहिनि, इहा असांजी ताक़त। अकेलो असां में का ताक़त कान्हे, अकेलो ऐं का शइ कोन्हे। जो असां इहो त कयो आहे, तव्हांखे सभिनी खे शाबाश हुजे, तव्हां सभु गॾु आया आहियो, तमामु सुठी ॻाल्हि आहे। नेक्स्ट स्टेप छा आहे? नेक्स्ट स्टेप इहो आहे तव्हां यू गिव बैक, तव्हां चैरिटी ॾियो। जेको तव्हां कयो आहे, तव्हांखे मुबारक हुजे। लास्ट ईयर सना के असां 280 घर ठाराया। You can say that was maybe too late. We are reacting. We are not proactively doing a lot. But still, we did something. असांजा ह्यूस्टन जा दोस्त अख्तर वेठो आहे, हिननि 50-60 हज़ार गॾु कया, हिननि 50 घर ठाराया। असांजा सेंट लुइस जा दोस्त हूंदा आहिनि, उन्हनि पैसा गॾु कया, उन्हनि ठाराया। सना जी असांजी का प्रीवियस ईसी हुई, उन्हनि वॾी महिनत कई, उन्हनि खे सभिनि खे। You can all give all of them. हाणे चवण वारो इहो चवंदा 280 घर जिते 5 मिलियन लाइ 1.5 मिलियन ज़ाया थिया घर, 280 घर में कहिड़ो फ़र्क़ु पियो। पर आउं उन्हनि घर में वञी चुको आहियां। आउं उन घर में, आउं लास्ट टाइम टंडोला वियुसि, असां मीरपुरा सां अॻिले ॻोठ में वठी विया जिते घर ठहियो हो। आउं उन फैमिलीअ सां उन घर में वेही चुको आहियां। उन फैमिली जी ज़िंदगी बदिली न। So we all need to take these baby steps. But the most important thing that I keep going back to is that there's much more you can do. Because you live in a global village where environment is not a regional issue anymore. Environment is now a universal issue. So when you raise issues about the extinction of the Indus dolphin, that is going to resonate all over the world. And when you raise the issue of the mangrove forest being destroyed or the delta being destroyed, you can raise that internationally. It won't just be you, the world will be with you. Because not my generation, when I look at the younger generation, they are much more aware of the environment. They know that we live in a global village where every time we do something wrong, we hurt everybody else, not just ourselves. So the most important thing you can do is come together, raise your voice, and raise it in a global village. अॼुकल्ह हर शइ ट्विटर आहे, जेको कुझु बि आहे, but environment is the hot topic of the present. 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 Environment is the hot topic of the present
rains and river water for irrigation, it significantly impacted change. So rainfall patterns and prolonged droughts, increased temperatures, it's all because it all coastal erosion forces communities to abandon their homes. There's some strategies that I've come up with. Of course, we can't address and talk about an issue without discussing how we can help with it, how we can solve it, how we can come together as a community to even tackle this, or at least get things started. So there's mitigation measures, this means actions of reducing harm, and there's also adaptation strategies, so how people can adapt, because obviously climate change is inevitable. It's happening one way or another. It's important to think about the action to prevent it, but it's also important to think about adapting to it. So mitigation measures, this involves reducing greenhouse gas emissions. So this is an ongoing problem, not just in Sindh, not just in Pakistan, but in a lot of the South Asia and Central Asia parts of the world. Energy technologies, it helps improve energy efficiency. It reduces emissions and it contributes to sustainable development, which is our goal here. We can also transition to renewable energy sources. This is something that a lot of us have seen happen in Canada, America, the UK, but Sindh in general has a lot less of this development. They're built along the coastline and they protect coastal communities.